Geography Now, Ethiopia. This particular video has been highly requested on the channel. In fact, let me show you a couple of images. Here's one, here's another one, and here's another one. So these are three separate comments basically saying the same thing. So I'm going to read this out for myself to remember. So we have Mojo Technologies who said, react to Geography Now Ethiopia video. You will understand some things about Ethiopia. That's the first one. Next, he said, Sifen Abdi said, please react to Geography Now Ethiopia. And the next one is still Mojo Technology saying, bro, see Geography Now Ethiopia video. It would explain you a lot and you can react to it. So yes, thank you. And before I continue, I want to thank everybody who's subscribed to the channel. Like, I'm blown away by the reactions that you're giving me, the comments, the conversations. Like, I'm learning so much about these different countries and discovering people, connecting with them through Instagram and having conversations. Like, I like building community. I used to think that I liked it, but now I really like it. And I'm not going to waste your time to talk about this. We'll probably make another video to talk about this all, but thank you for 1,600 subscribers. It's counting. I can see the 2K getting really close. So if this is the first time you're coming across any of my videos, you might want to stick around. If you like it, give me a subscribe. If you've already, been part of the family and you're already there, go on ahead and let me know in the comment section. Say hello. I respond to every single comment. If I don't see your comment, then either it's one of those spam comments or something happened, because I make it my personal mission to respond to every comment. So we're not going to waste your time today. You are here for the reaction. I haven't watched this reaction. I'm not going to waste your time on that screen, because I noticed that whenever I put up the screen to show the views and everything, people leave the video. So it's Geography Now. It was done in 2016 by the channel Geography Now. They have over 2 million subs. This particular video has over 1 million subscribers, 1 million views, sorry. So the reason why I chose to do this video now and not later on, even though I knew it was highly requested, is because I care about you. And I thought of, let me just keep this video and do it later on and build momentum. But then I was like, why? I made a video about Ethiopia. I got a lot of comments telling me that there were so many things I did not know. I said, well, let me educate myself, right? Let me go on, watch the video Geography Now, and then see my reaction. So I'm sure it's going to be very educational, and I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot. All right? I hope you do too. And if you do, leave a comment. I have a lot of Ethiopian brothers and sisters responding and commenting and educating me and educating my other brothers and sisters in the comment section. So looking forward to hearing from you. Let's get right into it.
Hey everybody, say hi to Samri. She is a real Ethiopian.
Hi everyone.
Samri, are you ready to make Ethiopia proud?
So ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. I have a problem. People have too much energy. If you watch my video, I always just feel weird whenever I have this. It's like, okay, I'm about to see an exhibit of high energy positivity, which is great. It's just, I just get exhausted when I see this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Geography Now.
Hey everybody, I'm your host Barbie, and we have reached
Oh, his name is Barbie? Okay.
Ethiopia. This is a big one, okay? Ethiopia is like one of the big shots of Africa.
You won't find any place like this anywhere else on Earth.
No, you will not. There's so much to cover in so little time, so let's get started.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys know how much I love administrative subdivisions. I felt like I was a kid in a candy store when I was doing the China episode. That being said, with Ethiopia, it's like we just won the golden ticket to the chocolate factory. Let's dive in.
Two things. Just my first impression of this guy, he's extremely either knowledgeable or he has like a huge memory where he knows a lot of things. So funny enough, I've never watched any video from Geography Now, so I don't even know what I'm about to see. But what I'm seeing, first of all, they have 2 million subs, and the way he's speaking tells me that he has a lot of facts and data, which is, if you've watched the channel, you know that I'm always looking forward to like facts and numbers and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm very much hooked right now.
As it borders 6 other countries, Ethiopia is the world's most populous landlocked sovereign state located in the Horn of Africa. Prior to 1996, the country used to have 13 provinces, but then after a bunch of internal drama and conflict, they redrew the lines, and now Ethiopia is divided into 9 ethnic-based regions, each with their own autonomy and extended legislative power under the constitution.
Wow.
Technically, under Article 39, they each reserve the right to secede from Ethiopia if they desire.
However, it's a little debatable as to how much this clause actually applies to them. The capital, Addis Ababa, which translates to New Flower, lies in the central heart of the country and acts as its own separate entity apart.
This is like the whole idea of federal states in the US, right? I mean, I don't do much politics, so I probably I'm missing out a lot of what he's saying that would be relevant to what I'm talking about. But I know that in the US, each state, like the way they count votes, the way the federal, like the whole idea of federal states, like each unit can basically control itself. Please help me out there in the comment section. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Which translates to new flower, lies in the central heart of actually applies to them. The capital Addis Ababa, which translates to new flower, lies in the central heart of the country and acts as its own separate entity apart from any region, as does the second largest city, Dire Dawa.
These are what you call charter cities. They bypass the regional level and govern themselves independently, only under the Ethiopian constitution.
Which is strange because Harare is considered a region, even though area-wise it's smaller than the charter cities and has the smallest population as well, at only around 212,000 people.
Which is even
I would not ever want to be a geography student in Ethiopia. That already sounds like a lot of, hey, you need to know this stuff. Like, what? I'm already confused a little bit.
Ethiopian constitution.
Which is strange because Harare is considered a region, even though area-wise it's smaller than the charter cities and has the smallest population as well, at only around 212,000 people.
Which is even stranger because the ethnic regions are further divided into zones, which are further divided into waredas.
And some of these waredas refuse to be affiliated with the certain region that they lie in and have decided to go rogue. They're called special waredas and have a second-tiered level of autonomy, and there are 10 of them, half of which lie in the Southern Nations, Nationalities, and Peoples region, sometimes referred to as the SNNPR.
Which
Are you as confused as I am, or is it just me? Like, I'm already, like, how do you keep track of all of this? I can't. But I guess I'm not the president or anything, so that's fine.
brings us to that place.
As the third most popular, sometimes referred to as the SNNPR.
Which brings us to that place.
As the third most populous region, this aptly named area of Ethiopia has more tribes and people groups than anywhere else. Most regions have less than 10 main people groups that inhabit their boundaries. This place has about 45. And I think that's about it with administrative divisions.
Oh wait, land disputes.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
There's a Lemme Triangle, all the way in the south by Kenya and Sudan.
Then there's the Ogaden dispute with Somalia, and finally, technically, there's that Jabal al-Tayr Island dispute with Eritrea and Yemen in the Red Sea, even though Yemen kind of took it over, but then that volcano exploded and destroyed half of everything. Look it up, guys. I'm on a time crunch.
Very quickly, the largest airports are, of course, the capital Addis Ababa, Bole International.
Oh, fun fact. I actually think I went to this. I had an overlay at this airport when I was coming to the US for the first time. Actually, the only time I was coming to the US. But yeah, I think so. Did I? I think so. I'm confused. I don't remember well.
Deredawa and Mekelle in the north.
One thing that definitely
The capital Addis Ababa, Bole International. Deredawa and Mekelle in the north.
One thing that definitely makes Ethiopia stick out, though, would have to be the fact that they are the only African country to successfully avoid ever being colonized by any European outside forces.
This is the comment that nearly everybody who watched my reaction to Tikusu Black Man. Thank you for the translation. Now I know a little bit of Ethiopian. Oh wait, sorry. It's not even Ethiopian. It's probably Amharic. I don't know which language that is. But yeah, in that particular video, people kept saying this over and over. Ethiopia was never colonized. Ethiopia was the only country, an African country. Well, is it one of the only ones, or the only one that has never been colonized? So this is nice. It's really good. I'm so glad I'm watching this video because I'm able to confirm. Like, in a way, if I'd known all this before watching that song, I might have missed a lot. Now that all these holes were shown in my argument, I'm like, wow, this is nice. Like, I'm able to learn about the country. And I should do a geography now for Cameroon. If you're watching this and you're Cameroonian, let me know in the comment section. Would you like me to do a reaction of geography now for Cameroon to see if we can learn more about, my own country? Let me know. Let's continue.
The Italians tried, but then they helped to successfully avoid ever being colonized by any European outside forces. The Italians tried, but then they held their ground and fought back relentlessly.
I forgot about Libya.
No, and Libya tried too. Yeah. Oh yeah, but they're not European.
That's true. This was unexpectedly unprecedented, but in return kind of gave them a little respect.
Yeah, Ethiopia held their ground, right? There isn't a single place that embodies the entire soul of Ethiopia, but rather the country is speckled with unique sites that each tell their own distinct piece of the Ethiopian story.
Do you see how he carries each word with his hands? Like, he's very handsy. It's like you can feel the strength of the words coming out, like every distinct piece of the country. Let me just replay that a little bit. You can see it for yourself.
Ethiopia held their ground, right? There isn't a single place that embodies the entire soul of Ethiopia, but rather the country is speckled with unique sites that each tell their own distinct piece of the Ethiopian story. They have more UNESCO heritage sites than any other country in Africa. Gunfire round, just to name a few notable spots.
The Harara Hyena Town, where you can feed wild hyenas. The mysterious...
What?
Just to name a few notable spots.
The Harara Hyena Town, where you can feed wild...
Are you seeing that on the screen? That is a hyena. A real life hyena getting fed from a basket by a baby, basically.
Wild hyenas, the mysterious Tchassa stone carvings, the Bete Gorgis of Lalibela Church, hewn out of single rock, the Chapel of the Tablet, where it's believed to hold the incredible ancient Ark of the Covenant.
Guarded by virgins who cannot leave the building.
The obelisk of Aksum from the ancient Aksum kingdom, the indigenous tribal villages of Omo Valley, and the famous castle of Gondar.
Yeah, and we haven't even mentioned what the landscape looks like yet.
This is where the real adventure begins.
Oh, wow, yes.
Okay.
If you're looking for a CRM,
I need to get on ad blocker, don't I?
flexible
I
CRM
definitely do,
solution
because
that can
this is
manage
not
the
helping.
Ethiopia's land is shrouded with extremes on so many levels, and to really get a good look at it, you kind of have to understand the tectonic makeup. Like mentioned in the Eritrea episode, the Horn of Africa is located on the tri-point convergence of the Arabian, African, and Somali plates, and Ethiopia is caught right in the middle of all of it. The Somali plate isn't so much of a plate, but rather a crack that didn't finish cracking, and today grinds across the African plate horizontally in what is called a transform motion.
This essentially splits the country into two portions, the western and eastern Ethiopian highlands, also known as the Ethiopian Plateau and the Amar Mountain.
The Ethiopian highlands are the largest.
Wow, I feel like I feel like I don't even know what I'm going to react to this video, because I'm just learning so much. I want to just watch and actually want to visit all these places. I'm worried I'm doing a terrible job to react to this, because I don't see what to react to. It's just amazing to watch a country like this. I'm so grateful for the internet. Like, I know I've said this thing 1,000 times, but I was born and raised in Cameroon. I never left Cameroon until I moved to the US, and discovering places like this because of this technology just makes me so grateful. Like, really, this is dope.
Largest continuous mountain range in Africa, which
Plateau and the Amar Mountain.
The Ethiopian highlands are the largest continuous mountain range in Africa, which stretch north to south and comprise a great diversity of terrain depending on the region.
Climate-wise, it basically goes like this. The east is hot and the west is cold.
Oh, that's simple. As mentioned before, the northeast corner by the border of Eritrea contains the Danakil Depression, where you find Dolol, the hottest human settlement on Earth, with average annual temperatures holding around 41 degrees Celsius. Most of this hauntingly beautiful
41 degrees Celsius. The room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius, so that's really close to like double room temperature. Sheesh. Actually, room temperature, no, like yeah, room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. I need to get my physics back in my brain.
area is with average annual temperatures holding around 41 degrees Celsius. Most of this hauntingly beautiful area is uninhabitable, with some areas fuming with toxic gases coming from the.
It looks like it's from a sci-fi movie. If you're watching this and you visited these places, like, do they make movies? I'm looking at the scene, I'm like, wow, I'd like to see like some powerful stories with, like, shaman and fights. It looks so cool, doesn't it?
Boiling geothermal salt ponds.
Nonetheless, people still come here to mine for salts on a regular basis. Oh, and if you're lucky, you can witness blue lava flowing from some of the minor volcanoes.
Yo, do you see that? I mean, your screen is probably big. I have to come closer to blue lava. What the?
On a regular basis. Oh, and if you're lucky, you can witness blue lava flowing from some of the minor volcanoes in the area.
Blue lava.
Yeah.
That's what
Wow, blue. I didn't even know.
Even though I don't, do you see? Even though I totally wrote the script and she's reading from the teleprompter. Like, this guy is funny. Oh man.
Know that existed. Close by, you can also find Erta-Ale, the most active volcano in Ethiopia, with 2 lava lakes continuously shining orange, sometimes referred to as the gates of hell. Nope, I have the real one, and mine's better.
Head inland and we hit the breathtaking Simeon Mountain.
Wait.
Nope, I have the real.
I don't get this joke. Maybe if you do, let me know.
One, and mine's better.
Head inland and we hit the breathtaking Simeon Mountains, where the tallest peak, Rash Desene, is found.
Here you can find Lake Tana, the largest lake in Ethiopia, and the source of the Blue Nile, which makes up a little loop-de-loop and then flows northward into the White Nile in Sudan.
Head more south and the landscape suddenly becomes dramatically more lush and green, with the highest concentration of vegetation in the country.
The west and south are home to the largest portions of agricultural plots where various grains, vegetables, and spices and herbs are grown, including, once again, teff, the national grain of Ethiopia, which is used to make the same injera bread I talked about in the Eritrea video, and this is what it looks like, and it's so good. All right, crew, come on over. All right, lunch break. We're eating right now. Lunch break. Come on. Yes.
By the way, did you notice, let me just pull this up here real quick. Did you notice that there were no videos in the footage when they were showing different areas, different parts of the country? There were no videos. They were all pictures. I'm curious why. I'm just curious.
If you've never had Ethiopian food, you're missing out on life.
The land is also teeming with numerous species of animals like gazelles and...
I didn't change my screen. Sorry about that. I didn't show you what she said. I was like, yeah, you haven't eaten to eat Cameroonian food. Forget. I haven't eaten Ethiopian food yet. But Cameroonian food is better.
You're missing out on life.
Right now, lunch break. Come on. Yes.
If you've never had Ethiopian food, you're missing out on life.
The land is also teeming with numerous species of animals like gazelles, antelope, kudu, cheetahs, ibex, baboons, and a hotbed for over 500 species of birds that either inhabit or migrate through the plateaus year-round. However, the national animal is the lion. It was even put on the former flag of Ethiopia when it was under the last emperor, which has a pretty interesting story behind it, which we will cover in...
Looking forward to
Okay, let's just dispel the myth already. When you hear the word Ethiopia, everyone still kind of thinks of this.
And yes, during the conflict years there was more prevalent. However, mainstream Ethiopia is nothing like that.
No. One thing you have to understand is that Ethiopia not only has ancient history, but prehistoric history.
Yes.
What?
As in, like, some of the oldest specimens of modern day humans have been found in Ethiopia.
Yeah, labeling it as one of the origin regions of human emergence.
Remember Lucy?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ethiopia. First of all, now Ethiopia is incredibly diverse with over 80 different ethnic groups and tribes living in the country.
Second was populated in Africa. Well, I guess we all know who the first most populated is, don't we? My Nigeria brothers and sisters.
However, a few of them stand out and dominate the rest. About a third of the population is Oromo and about 30% are Amara. At less than 10% each are other groups like Somali, Tigrayan, Sidama, and the rest are huge conglomerations of...
Oh, this makes so much sense now. So when I did the reaction to Tikusu, and no, actually when I did the reaction to Nadine's video where she talked about, Ethiopians not being African and her perspective, culture shock and all that, there were threads, like so many threads of conversations talking about this. Like, Amharic, Oromo, Somali, Tigrayan, Sidam. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce them. I really apologize if I'm messing this up. But it is very similar to what we have in Cameroon, where you have 230 different tribes. You have two major, like French-speaking and English-speaking. The history of conflict, where first of all, English-speaking Cameroon was part of Nigeria. In fact, even before that, it was... Long story. Germany colonized. Then after the Second World War, British trusteeship, British and French trusteeship, and all that. And then now, Jesus, I need to watch geography now for Cameroon because I need to know my own history. I'm here watching history about Ethiopia, and I don't even know my own Cameroonian history. But this is so good. This makes so much sense. Yeah, it does a lot, and I'm really grateful for this.
Of over 70 different people groups, like Somali. The population is Oromo and about 30% are Amara. At less than 10% each are other groups like Somali, Tigrayan, Sidama, and the rest are huge conglomerations of over 70 different people groups. As mentioned in the Eritrea video, Ethiopia is unique that along with Eritrea, they have an Abesha population.
In a nutshell, Abishas are Africans that have Semitic roots down the line to their ancestry, as they inhabited the ancient land of Kush.
As the story goes, Ethiopians claim that they are descendants of the historical King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, who gets a quick shout out in the Bible.
Long story short, she had a son from Solomon named Menelik, who became the first emperor of Ethiopia.
DNA tests have shown that most Abesha-identified individuals have partial genetic markers and traces that come from the same ones that are typically found in Jews and Arabs.
This is such a beautiful picture. I'm glad I stopped on that. I want to put my face on the screen. I'm never going to do it. This is just nice. Now I understand the comments about what Nadine actually said. Ethiopians have a look, and this is the idea of the look. This is descendants from King Solomon and Queen Menelik, Kush. I'm blown away by the amount of knowledge that these people have been able to compress in less than 7 minutes of this video. Wow! I have to do the one for Cameroon. Yeah, I really do have to.
This is partially the reason why Abisha people look a little different from the rest of what most presume a sub-Saharan African individual is portrayed as.
Oh, and they love their hair, right, Samri? Ethiopians?
They do.
Yes. They have one of the most intriguing, unique designs in the world that can't be found anywhere else, and they just flash their natural follicles.
Amharic women even have a fascinating hair whipping dance that looks like this.
What? My head hurts just watching this.
Nonetheless, that is only the Abisha of Ethiopia.
Yeah, once again, there are over 80 ethnic groups that are radically different from the others. Oh, and once again, just like Eritrea, the Amharic peoples also use the only indigenous African script, the Fidel, or the Fidel? Fidel, or Giz alpha syllabary.
So this is a question to Cameroonians watching. I know we did have Sultan Damjoya, no. This guy in Fumban who invented a language. I don't know if it still exists or if it's destroyed, but I don't know if this is entirely true. That they are the only, but maybe it's probably the only existing because I'm not sure ours is still existing. I don't know. Let me rewind and hear what they said actually.
Fidel, or the Fidel? Again, there are over 80...
Nonetheless, that is only the Abisha of Ethiopia.
Yeah, once again, there are over 80 ethnic groups that are radically different from the others. Oh, and once again, just like Eritrea, the Amharic peoples also use the only indigenous African script, the Fidel, or the Fidel, or Giz alpha syllabary.
Otherwise, almost all the other people groups in Ethiopia write with a Latin-based script like Oromo and Somali.
Speaking of which, the Oromo, which are slightly the largest group, speak a Cushitic-based language closer to Somali and Afar, which is completely unintelligible to Amharic. The country has ties to all three Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
About 63% are Christians, mostly Ethiopian Orthodox and Protestant. Muslims make up about a third, and the rest are either Jew and other indigenous faiths.
Yeah, you heard that right. Jews. Ethiopia is home to one of the only black Jewish populations. There's a dispute that the Lemba of South Africa are also black Jews, but that's another story.
Back when it was the Kingdom of Aksum, Ethiopia became one of the first nations to accept Christianity.
And as tradition holds, Jesus' disciple Matthew traveled there to share the gospel, and Philip the evangelist baptized the first Ethiopian.
The Harari region of Ethiopia is also regarded as the fourth holiest site in Islam, as it has 82 mosques and over 100 shrines.
But one thing, Samri, that really sticks out would have to be the Ethiopian calendar, right?
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty
unique.
weird. Yeah.
The Ethiopian calendar is about 7 years and 3 months behind.
This is the one when we talk about time and dates. Yeah, I'm very curious about grasping this one well. This one, I said the time starts when the day begins, not when your clock says it's beginning, and so they count from there. But let me hear them talk about it because I'm probably just guessing at this point.
Calendar, right?
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty
unique.
weird. Yeah.
The Ethiopian calendar is about 7 years and 3 months behind the standard Gregorian calendar that most other nations follow. As of right now in 2016, the year is 2008 in Ethiopia.
Really? It's
Yeah.
like 2008 in Ethiopia right now.
Yeah.
Weird.
We filmed this before the Ethiopian New Year, so now it's 2009.
Very similar to the Coptic one, the calendar uses 12 months with 30 days each and a 13th epigomenal month made up of either 5 or 6 days depending on the year. New Year's Day typically lands on September 11th. Or the 12th, depending on the year.
Throughout most of their history, Ethiopia was under kingdoms and empires, the last one ending with Emperor Haile Selassie.
However, his son Amha kind of ruled technically for like 1 year until the communist Derg community came in, and then they ended the monarchy.
Side note, this is where the tension with Eritrea pretty much started.
The Derg was deposed, and now they operate under a federal parliamentary republic.
Fun side note, Emperor Haile Selassie is still to this day revered by Rastafarians as their messiah, even though he was quoted for saying, "I am not God."
Samri, I'm just curious, like, what do Ethiopians think about the whole Rastafarian thing and Haile Selassie and all that stuff? What do they think about it?
They think they're pretty cool. I mean, they love our country, and they have a portion of land there, and so they provide to our economy.
Yeah, you can imagine how they felt when he actually visited the country in the 60s. Speaking of outside relations...
I need to get an ad blocker.
I often hear people talk about life after college as the real
Oh
world.
man, this is just so much. This is just so much knowledge. Let me just stop to say this. This is just so much knowledge. And when I watched this guy in the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, he's high energy and everything. But I've just, like, the whole point of high energy is gone. It's just the facts, just spitting facts and numbers and history. Right? I'm learning a lot, which I'll probably forget, but I'll need to watch like many times.
Ethiopia is kind of a big shot. They've earned...
Friend zone.
Ethiopia is kind of a big shot. They've earned their prestige in the world stage, and now they have a lot of people to connect with. No surprise, the US and China are the biggest overseas investors in Ethiopia. The US gives the most aid and has military alliances, and China is the largest importer. They have both relations with Israel and Palestine. After Israel became a state, thousands of Ethiopians flocked over, and today there are more Ethiopian black Jews living in Israel than in Ethiopia. Palestine is also recognized as a state, and both have their own embassies. Turkey has ties from way back in the Ottoman Empire times, and Russia used to be a really good friend back when the Communist Derg Committee took over for about 20 years. Now things are kind of like between them. Their best friends, however, would probably be Egypt, Djibouti, and to a lesser extent maybe Sudan. Egypt shares an ancient history with Ethiopia for thousands of years, and the Nile Basin plays a major role in their cooperation. Djibouti is kind of like their only way out to the Red Sea and business.
I feel like my brain is about to explode with just all this information that this guy is giving. Now I see why this channel is successful. The animations are cool. Sense of humor is amazing. Facts. Well researched. Well delivered. I'm impressed.
Between them is crucial cooperation. Djibouti is kind of like their only way out to the Red Sea, and business between them is crucial for Ethiopia's trade sector. Sudan is kind of like a major oil provider and gateway to the Mediterranean for them. Despite the border conflict, they still have relatively good relationships. In conclusion, Ethiopia is kind of like a big deal. I mean, some of the earliest peoples ever recorded came from here, let alone community.
Look how proud she is. Look how proud she is. Look at that.
Ethiopia is kind of like a big deal. I mean, some of the earliest peoples ever recorded came from here, let alone communities and civilizations. They avoided European colonization and have a unique, vibrant, diverse background found nowhere else, and yet somehow they're able to hold on to every region together and become one proud people of rich heritage.
Yes.
What do you think, Sammy? Was that accurate? Was that?
Yes, thank you.
All right, yes.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. After nearly 2 years of doing Geography Now, we finally go back to Oceania, and Fiji is coming up next.
Wow. See, let me put some movies in so you can see the credits. Of course, you know the link to the video is going to be in the description. You can watch it there. I highly recommend you do, because you won't have me interrupting every couple of seconds to tell you about my feelings. Whoa. You know, it's not so much about the fact that they have, is so diverse. It's how it's diverse, but it still continues to still function, at least from their perspective, because I'm sure that Ethiopians living on the ground will tell you that things are different, because if somebody tells you about Cameroon, they'll probably tell you how amazing it is that you have French-speaking and English-speaking people living together, whereas if you go on the ground, that's not what's happening. And this was in 2016, so maybe things have happened between then and now. That's like when? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 5 years ago. So yeah. But she's so proud of her country. That's really cool to see, Yeah, I think every country should have a geography now. I think they do. So probably have Cameroon. I'm definitely subscribing to this channel, or at least keeping tabs on it, because yeah, this is, man, wow. I am so impressed, so grateful that I was pointed in this direction. I don't have anything else to say. Like, really, go watch this video. Leave your own comment there. If you're Ethiopian, I would love to hear your story, your version of things, because yes, sure, these people, the lady Ethiopian and this guy, who I don't know yet, but I think I'm about to know very much because I have to watch more of his videos, give a concise history, political, geographical, even cultural history of the country. And the hyenas, man, those hyenas, like, why? But yeah, that was my reaction of Geography Now Ethiopia. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kamga, on this channel, I do essays, reviews, and reactions like this one, and I do videos every other day. Like basically, since you're seeing this video today, you have another video the day after tomorrow. So that's how it's going to be. We're slowly moving to daily. We're really enjoying the reactions. But most importantly, I'm so grateful for all the people who are joining the family and subscribing and leaving recommendations and telling me what they want to see, like my friends here, telling me what they want to, have on the channel. Leave your recommendations, leave your comments. There are many in the list. In fact, actually, we'll talk about it in the next video. Just keep that for the next video. Just subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you'll be able to get it. And let me know what you thought about this video. Did you like the reaction? Did you hate it? Was it good enough for you? And have you watched this video before? And especially if you're Ethiopian, please tell me how accurate this video was about your nation, about your country, and about your history. I would love to see that. And yeah, see you in the next one.